We all hear about the promise of AI, right? That it's going to change everything, cure diseases, solve climate change. But what's the real story going on behind the hype? Today, we're going to take a critical look inside the hidden empire of AI, using journalist Karen Howe's incredible book as our guide. Okay, let's just start with this quote from Sam Altman. It's this wild idea, right? Either it's total doom, lights out for everyone, or it's a perfect world where all our problems are solved. This kind of extreme, all-or-nothing story isn't just some off-the-cuff remark. As we're about to see, this high-stakes narrative is a really powerful tool. So, to really get to the bottom of this, we first have to peel back the layers on the powerful stories, the myths the AI industry loves to tell about itself and its technology. All right, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with that grand AI myth, then look at how they sell the dream. From there, we'll dive into what Karen Howe calls the AI empire, uncover the very real human cost, and finally ask if there's a better way to do all this. So, how exactly are they selling this dream? Well, the number one tool in the playbook is language itself. The way these companies define their goals isn't just about the tech, it's a very clever strategy to shape how we all think about it and, keep the regulators at bay. Let's talk about artificial general intelligence, or AGI. This is the big one, the holy grail. But what is it, really? The truth is, nobody can agree. Scientists don't even have a solid definition for human intelligence, so defining an artificial one is pretty much impossible. And that ambiguity? That's not a bug, it's a feature. It's incredibly useful for the companies chasing it. And you can see this in action right here. Look at how the story changes depending on who's listening. When Sam Altman talks to Congress, AGI is this world-saving technology that will cure cancer. But when he's talking to you and me, the consumers, it's just going to be the best digital assistant ever. See what they're doing? It's framing. It gets everyone excited while neatly sidestepping the really hard questions. And it's not just about selling hope. Sometimes it's about selling fear. This quote from Sam Altman back in 2015 sounds pretty terrifying, right? But here's the thing, it was strategic. He was basically mirroring what Elon Musk was saying at the time, which helped convince Musk to co-found OpenAI. It's like saying, hey, this technology is super dangerous, so you need us, the good guys, to be in charge of it. And all of this myth-making brings us to Karen Howe's central argument, that today's AI giants are building modern-day empires. But instead of conquering physical territory, they're all about controlling the new world's most valuable resources: data, labor, and knowledge. Howe says this new imperialism is built on 3 pillars. First, resource grabbing. They're just hoovering up all our data, our art, our writing, plus enormous amounts of land and water for data centers. Second is labor exploitation. And the third pillar is knowledge control. They fund the research they like and can effectively silence findings that don't fit their narrative. Every empire in history has needed a story to justify its existence. And for the AI companies, the story is a race. They argue they have to grow at all cost to protect us from some bad empire, whether that's China or another tech company. It's a classic move to justify unchecked expansion. So what is the actual price of building these digital empires? Not in dollars, but in real-world impact. Let's look at the costs to people and to the planet, the stuff you never hear about in the glossy product demos. Okay, just get ready for this number, because it is absolutely wild. A single OpenAI supercomputer project is planned to use more power than 20% of New York City. Just let that sink in for a second. The thirst for energy to fuel this race is almost impossible to comprehend. And that incredible energy demand causes real crises on the ground. We're talking about straining local power grids to the breaking point, draining fresh water from communities that are already dealing with drought, and in some places, even building dedicated fossil fuel power plants that pollute the air for everyone living nearby. And the human cost is just as severe. Behind the magic of every chatbot, there are thousands of low-wage workers called data annotators. They're the ones teaching the AI. And this quote from one of them it's heartbreaking. It shows the dehumanizing pressure they're under, forced to prioritize this frantic digital piecework over their own families. What's even worse is how this system creates a trap. So professionals get laid off because of automation, and often their only option is to take one of these low-end data annotation jobs. And what are they doing in those jobs? They're training the very AI that will displace even more workers just like them. It effectively breaks the career ladder. There's no way up. But does it have to be this way? Is this massive, resource-hungry, exploitative model the only way to build AI? Karen Howe argues absolutely not. We actually have a choice between two very different paths.
She uses this really powerful analogy. The AI giants are all building rockets, these massive do-everything models that consume enormous resources and come at a huge cost to society. But we could be building bicycles, smaller, efficient, targeted AI tools designed to solve specific problems in a way that's actually good for people.
A perfect example of a bicycle AI is AlphaFold. It's a system designed to do one thing incredibly well: predict how proteins fold. It uses a small, specific data set, needs way less energy, and it has already revolutionized drug discovery and our ability to fight diseases. This proves that powerful, beneficial AI doesn't have to follow the imperial model. So at the end of the day, the path we're on isn't inevitable. It's the result of choices being made right now by a handful of companies pursuing this imperial vision. The critical question for all of us is, who should get to make those choices? The future of AI isn't just about technology, it's about power and deciding who gets to wield it.